Well, it's a new league, and that means we get to hear a bunch of wonderful opinions about the new league mechanics as well as the old ones. But the one mechanic that's always a point of contention is Harvest.
You encounter. As you know, you can encounter many different types of past league content randomly within maps.
Let's go!
These new passages.
Some people long for the days of old when we could deterministically craft the items we wanted, and some people want Harvest removed from the game entirely. But one thing's for certain, Harvest is the best way to obtain the items you're looking for. This means if you choose to ignore it, then you are effectively choosing to make your gameplay experience much more difficult. So what should GGG do? Should they actually delete Harvest? Well, let's take a look at that scenario and see how it would play out. Currently, the vast majority of players optimize their Atlas passives to increase their odds of getting Harvest, and once they can reliably find the Sacred Grove, they're off to the slots. But what will players do if their precious hits of dopamine are taken away from them? They'll find other ways to get it, of course. And how will they get it? Well, the next best option is Delve, yet another league mechanic that is highly divisive. Players seem to either love or hate it, and with the addition of Harvest, a large portion of the community just outright ignores it, myself included. But with Harvest gone, Delve now becomes your best chance at getting the gear you want. Fossils and resonators become your life, and soon player complaints will start rolling in. I hate Delve, but it's so good I can't ignore it. Farming fossils and resonators isn't fun. And I have a small penis. Thanks, Chris Wilson. Soon, GGG won't be able to handle the backlash and they'll delete Delve. Players, satisfied they got their way again, will jump back into the grind and soon after, look for other options to get their gear. And what better place than from a shady arms dealer named Rog?
I like 'em big. I like 'em chunky.
Is he a traitor or a pimp? We'll never know. What we do know is that sexy bastard is able to supply us with some pretty sick loots. But despite his voluptuous appearance, Rog's not perfect. You can only get items that he offers you, which means it becomes incredibly difficult to get influenced items with the mods that you are looking for. And if you get really unlucky, you might not even see the item base you want. Either way, if Harvest and Delve are deleted, players will start utilizing Rog way more often. Inevitably, players might feel forced into engaging with the expedition mechanic because it is the best way to obtain usable items. And soon, the complaints will start rolling in. Why do I have to do expeditions to get good items? I feel like I'm not even playing Path of Exile anymore, it's just an expedition simulator. And my personal favorite, god damn it Chris, my dick's still small. Chris finally takes personal responsibility for that man's tiny wiener and deletes Expedition. Now players can finally rejoice. There are no more league mechanics that can reliably get you the gear you want, which means players are left with the ultimate Path of Exile crafting experience.
Okay, no, that is working. That is working. That is working. That is working.
So why do players seem to get so upset about having to engage with slot machine mechanics to get their items? I mean, traditionally, that's what playing ARPGs has always been about. So what's different here? Well, the obvious difference is that we aren't killing monsters for the items. I mean, sure, you're killing monsters to get the harvest crafts, or killing monsters to get to the fossils, or killing monsters for the expedition currency. But the monsters themselves aren't dropping the items you want. They are just a means to an end. And that's where the problem lies. A game within a genre that's all about killing monsters and pillaging their corpses for loot, and they have no loot to be had. And to make matters worse, Path of Exile's crafting system is really convoluted and requires a ton of currency to make anything worth a shit. Oh, you want to craft an item? Hope you farmed for the 6 Exalted Orbs to do it. Oh shit, you didn't get the rolls you wanted? No worries, just get like 4 more Exalted Orbs and give it another go. There just doesn't seem to be a simple middle ground where players can feel like they are earning the items they receive. I know there's a lot of people that think old school Harvest was too overpowered, and it was, but you can't pretend like it wasn't nice to finally be able to craft the items you wanted. Currently, I feel like I need to watch 6 Grimrow videos, lock prefixes and suffixes, hit it with a Veiled Chaos Orb, multi-mod, stand up, stick a finger in my ass, spin in a circle 4 times, pull my finger out, smell it, and smash my mouse anytime I want to roll the dice with an item. Then a new league comes out and there are 400 new videos of people screaming into their microphones telling me that I need to somehow fit 2 fingers in my ass now because GGG nerfed yet another avenue of crafting because it was too deterministic. And you know what? I get it. I've played a shit ton of Diablo 2 as well, Chris, and the game is all about killing monsters and finding loot. But once again, Path of Exile is missing that piece to the puzzle. You'll almost never find in-game gear dropping on the ground. There are just way too many affixes that can roll on an item, and waitings for high-tier mods make it extremely difficult to get what you're looking for. Mix in influenced items and their mods, and the odds almost drop to 0. So then, what's the fix? Chris Wilson basically said that Loot 2.0 will never be making a return because it was too powerful. So that's out of the question. Maybe they could consolidate mods to specific item types, so that way items aren't competing with so many other modifiers. Or maybe they could adjust the weightings on rare and high-tier mods. I have no clue. But I do know that Path of Exile without Harvest would receive the same complaints about whatever system replaces it. And while a lot of players may not like engaging with Harvest, they most certainly enjoy the rewards it has to offer, so they'd be pretty upset if it was removed. Even though gearing up in Path of Exile is far from perfect, it's not awful either. The addition of Sentinel combobulators brings even more options to the crafting table, and whenever we get Ultimatum back, hopefully that will help fill in some of the gaps in the gearing process. But if all else fails, don't worry guys, because Path of Exile 2 will fix it.